Hey guys, welcome back to 10-part series on how to become a project manager and make six figures without a PMP certification. So today we want to talk about starting that job, starting your role. So you interviewed, you worked with your staffing agency, and now you are ready. You have your entry level or your project coordinator or your project assistant job, and how you grow and move to the next level in your career. So you want to eventually become a senior project manager or the project manager. That's going to be your end goal. So these are the things that you need to do when you are just getting started and you're really trying to learn and grow your knowledge and experience, your real world experience. So what you want to do is you want to shadow a project manager. So if you were hired as a project coordinator or project assistant, you have a senior level project manager that you are working with. So you want to make sure that you do these things, and I'm gonna go through a couple of items, a couple of steps that you need to take just to make sure that you are learning real life experience and seeing how a true project manager manage and oversee and deliver within a project. So the first thing you need to do as you're shadowing your project manager, you want to make sure that you are attending all of the weekly status meetings. So whether the meetings are with internal leadership, whether the meetings are with the client, or if they're in team meetings, you want to make sure that you are participating in all of these, attending all of these meetings, and you understand how these meetings are being ran, and you're listening and really paying attention how the project manager communicates in the meetings. So you want to make sure that you are really paying attention to how this senior project manager is engaging and getting all of the agenda items addressed in his or her meeting. So the next thing you want to focus on, so I'm going to go from A to H. So the next one will be B, is attend all client meetings. So the first one was attend weekly status meetings. They could be internal meetings, they could be leadership meetings, but you definitely want to make sure that you are attending every client meeting, whether it's a weekly meeting, whether it's a impromptu meeting, whether it's a technical meeting, anything of that nature. So you want to make sure that you are shadowing your project manager in that style of meeting. C goes back to kind of what I said in A. Internal project team meetings. So you're going to have a project team, whether it is a technical team or any type of project that you're working on, a construction or whatever, right? So you're going to have a team of people that you have to work with. So you have to be able to meet with them on a regular basis. And I always say that when you are meeting with your team, you have to make sure you understand your audience. So you have to understand how, your resources or your team communicates, and be able to translate the information that they give you into your planning, documentation, your schedule, your timeline, and even translate that information back to your client. So you definitely want to make sure that you're shadowing your project manager in those type of meetings as well. Next thing you want to do is, assist your project manager. So you want to make sure that you are creating, or you understand how to create the weekly agendas. So when you go into your meetings, you want to make sure that you have an agenda that will help guide the meeting. And it's important to send the agenda out in advance of the meeting so the participants will know and understand what will be discussed, what will be talked about, and they can be prepared as well as you're prepared to talk to those points. So creating that agenda for your project manager will definitely give you more of insight and really understanding the focus of all of the meetings that you are going to be participating in. And so the next thing is good to assist your project manager in meeting minutes. I am an advocate for meeting minutes. I encourage my team as well to always document and capture meeting minutes. So definitely, in this age now, we have AI sometimes that can draft meeting minutes for you while you're in these meetings. But you want to make sure that you're documenting the conversation, especially if you have action items that need to be followed up after the meeting. You want to make sure that you capture all of the action items. You want to make sure that if there's anything that was originally a part of your project plan that has changed, that you capture those changes. And what you want to do with meeting minutes is make sure that they are completed within a period of time. I would say within a day or two after the meeting, and then send those out to the participants, and then offer up, feedback. If they have, captured something that's different from this in your notes, put that into your email and say, add feedback on any additional information that you may have captured that I may have missed. So definitely meeting minutes are key. So the next thing you want to do is, after you've become a little bit more comfortable, assist with hosting the call with your project manager on the call. So that gives you the ability to kind of have that backup. And if you attended multiple meetings, you kind of know the cadence of the call and the flow of the conversation, and you feel comfortable, offer up and say, hey, I want to manage, or I want to run this meeting. I want to host this meeting. And so do that, and that will grow your experience in feeling more comfortable with running project meetings in the future. And so the next one we want to talk about is kind of goes back to my meeting minutes. You want to make sure that when you are in your follow-up meetings or weekly meetings, all of those action items that you've captured from previous discussions, that you follow up on those action items. So be kind of be your PM's kind of backup, right? And making sure that action items aren't, because the project manager may be focused on having other discussions. So you want to make sure that you're assisting them, and your project manager, in making sure that you're getting the information on those action items. If somebody owes detail or feedback, that you're assisting the project manager by asking that person or following up with that person either prior to the meeting or after the meeting, and say, hey, we want to get, this action item complete. Do you have the information? Can you send that to me so I can, give that to my project manager? So that's the next one. Next point in shadowing and working with your project manager you want to focus on. And I think the next one is help monitor weekly tasks within the team and the client. So if there are any particular tasks that are within your project schedule that needs to be tracked and making sure that it's completed on time, monitoring that for your project manager will definitely help, and that'll help you as you begin to understand how to track and monitor and control your project as you're in your execution phase. So those are the from A to H of steps that you kind of need to start thinking about when you are shadowing the project manager that you're supporting. And in the next video, we'll kind of get a little bit more deeper into talking about other things you would need to focus on as you started your new role. But I'm going to end here, start the next video, and put that out next week. So thank you for listening, and see you in the next video.